Okay, let me reread that scripture real quick. There shall be a confusion. Why? Because too much is going to be going on, right? There's all types of things, all types of chaos is going to be going on during these days. There shall be a confusion also in many places, and the fire shall be oft sent out again, and the wild beasts shall change their places, and menstruous women shall bring forth monsters. Why? Why will these children be monsters? Well, there are many reasons, okay? But one of the main reasons will be because of lack of faith. See, the reason why we have a lot of violence today amongst our people is because we have, from generation to generation to generation, not taught our children. See, when you teach a child something, he or she grows up to comprehend that which he or she is taught. Okay? When you teach a child something, did I kill my damn battery? I did, but I got a charger. Okay. So, when you teach a child something, right, they grow up to become a believer. You understand me? So, you have to understand that it says when you teach a child the commandments, as they grow up, they will not separate themselves from these commandments. They will not depart from these commandments. The reason why we have all these religions, the reason why we follow the customs after the other nations, the reason why we celebrating all these holidays, the reason why we are speaking about killing one another and speaking about calling our sisters all types of names and things of that nature is because we've lost whom we are. We've lost who we are. You understand what I'm saying? We don't know who we are anymore. We've lost our identity as a people. We've lost our language. We've lost our customs. We've lost our so-called culture. Okay? So all of these things that we're doing today, right? You have to understand all of these things, these things are not our way. These things are not who we are. Okay? These things are not who we are. Okay? So in these days coming, the times are going to be so evil. The influences, the social media influences, the rap, the movies, all this homosexuality everywhere. You can't, all of these, all of these beautiful Instagram models, all of these type of influences. People like our president that go and sign for all of this foolishness, all of this gay foolishness, right? And just all of these things that's going on right now. The way that they want our young black men to be, to the influences on our young black men, right? Just all of these things, right? You have to understand that these children are coming out in this society and they're going to be monsters. Violence, all of these things. And monsters don't only mean violence. It also means that just negative in their thinking. They are far away from the laws of God. So that's just something that you all have to understand. Now, I want to go then. Okay, so let's go to the second segment. This is the second segment and this is the last segment, right? There's no wisdom in this world. Okay? Why? Because wisdom is Christ. See, as I told you all before, Christ is everything. So because Christ is neglected and will continue to be neglected, wisdom has not found her place among any of you. Okay? The second and the last segment is called Wise Counsel. Okay? So we know how to become wise, to listen, to just be quiet. You don't have to act like you know everything. You don't have to lean into your own understanding, because remember what I told you about leaning into your own understanding. Now, let me say something here. I know the problem that all of us men have, which is, now listen to me, because what is sad is that we have women today that are running the household and running the relationships because of this. But I understand that all men have this problem. We want to be correct. We want to be right. But let me tell you what is even more masculine. Accepting the truth. Not going against what is irrefutable. It is cowardly and effeminate. Women are the ones that choose to rebel against the truth. Women hear the truth and then fight it. Men, because there's a chain of command. See, because Christ is perfection. So what men do is we listen to Christ. And then what we do is we give our counsel to the woman. The woman can choose to fight it or she can choose to accept it. But us men are supposed to accept the counsel from Elohim. We're supposed to accept our counsel from the scriptures. We are not supposed to go against the counsel of God as men. Why? Because Adam was created by the Father. Adam heeded instructions from Yahuwah. He gave Eve one instruction that she couldn't follow. Why? Because that was the first act of feminism. The first act of feminism happened in the garden. Eve couldn't follow one funky law. All they said was, bitch, don't eat from the tree in the middle of the garden. That's all they told the heifer to do. She did not want to listen. She couldn't listen. She couldn't resist. She couldn't resist going against her husband. And by going against her husband, she went against God. She couldn't resist it. This is not just black women. No, white women. Do you know that white women, if not or worse, are just as bad as so-called black women here in America? See, the objective is not the objective. The problem is here in Babylon. The problem is America. It's not even really our women per se. It's not even really the American women. It's Babylon, which is the reason why that these children will grow up to become monsters because of the influences of Babylon. Let me explain something to you. Over in Australia, if you go into American supermarkets and you just look on the back of all our foods, you always see ingredients that you can't pronunciate. Anything that I can't pronunciate, I don't want my family eating. I keep telling Petron about that. I keep telling her about read the ingredients on the back of these foods. If you don't know what it says, then you shouldn't buy that food. Now, okay, are we going to get this perfect? No. We're not going to get it perfect because there are some things that you just want, right? I understand that. But we have to greatly decrease these things to a minimal, these high fructose corn syrup, certain phosphates and all of that stuff that you see in these foods, right? No food that has high fructose corn syrup in it should you purchase. High fructose corn syrup over a period of time causes cancer. Okay? You are supposed to go into the supermarket and but I see we're doing better as a people. We go into the supermarket. She says, "Oh, look at all those pizzas still there." Yeah, because all of those Ilios pizzas got pork on them, sausage. All you see, all the cheese Ilios pizzas are bought, and all the rest of the Ilios pizzas are still there. The pepperonis and the sausages and all the rest, they still there. All of them, because people are becoming wiser. But people seem to think that pork is the only abomination out there. You are foolish people, especially many of you in religion. You're so foolish because your book says don't eat lobster tail and don't eat shrimp. Keep it up. Keep it up. See, this is why wisdom does not find her place in you niggas. Right? Anything in the sea that doesn't have fins and scales, you should not eat. You have to believe Leviticus 11. Let me explain something to all of you people. Whether you're in religion, whether you're not if you're an atheist. Anybody in any religion. You are to believe the prophets. You are to believe the scroll of Moses. If there's anything in the water without fins and scales, you are not to eat it. It is abominable to you. Crabs and shrimps and lobsters don't have fins, nor do they have scales. They are spiders and roaches of the sea. That's okay, because many of you don't have Christ with you. So see, you are making your body an abomination. So when judgment comes, you're going to be taken with it because you keep eating these nasty things. And you think that now, if you got Christ with you, well, you still should repent. You still should repent because these things are abominable at the end of the day. Okay? It's just like smoking a cigarette. It's just like taking drugs. It's just like being an alcoholic. These things are abominable. But you all not listening to me. Why? Because of your diamond hard head. That's why. See, this is why wisdom has not found her place amongst none of us. Amongst black people, white people, because white people believe in Nassau. They believe in their own doctrines. White people are starting to despise the Bible because they know irrefutably now Christ is black. Elohim is black. They can't get nowhere around that now. They know this. They know it. So even these white folks are either they're succumbing to the truth, the few, and the majority of them are becoming furious and irate. Ku Klux Klan members are becoming very potently angry. They can't stand Revelations 1:14 and 15. Better not catch your black ass on the road. And while they got Revelations 1:14 and 15 on their mind, they're going to be very, very angry. See, the truth is irrefutable at the end of the day. There's no way around the truth. If you don't want to have a mental dysfunction, then accept the truth for what it is. Don't look at me angrily. Don't look at me and despise me, especially if you're my sister or my brother. Despising me ain't going to change the truth, dummy. If you hate me, that's not going to change the truth. That's not going to change the truth if you hate me. I hate him. The truth's still the same. The truth is still what it is. At the end of the day, there's nothing you can do about it. Right? There's nothing you can do about it. I lost my train of thought. But this next segment, the last segment, is called Wise Counsel. So let's go to Proverbs, first of all, because I want you all to give this advice to your children, because children become adults, and children learn their ways. Their rapid thinking. Time is it? Okay. Their rapid thinking is from age 0 to age 7. That's when they accumulate a lot of their ways. Oh, he's just a baby. No. Okay, yes, but he or she is in that scenario right there where they are customizing their thought process, customizing the way they think, customizing the way they act. That's why now we can't necessarily teach them the Torah at that age, but as soon as they're old enough to read, those commandments and that Old Testament need to be right going into their head. The Old Testament, yeah, when they're young, starting the Torah. Now, some people say, well, can't you be saved without reading the Torah? Yeah, you can. But if you want to teach, if you want to be a teacher, and you want people to completely understand the scriptures, you need to start in the Old Testament. Now, don't get me wrong, and I know many of you are going to disbelieve this, but you can start in the New Testament and be saved. Yeah, you can. You can. You can't teach by studying the New Testament only. Okay, you can't teach people. No, because you don't completely understand the New Testament. You're just going based off of belief. But when you start from the foundation, then you do understand. Now, Christ is the foundation. Okay? So I don't care what any of you say. Many of you Old Testament only, and many of you Torah, and all of these things, and many of you Pharisees, you can reach salvation in the New Testament. Just you can do it. That's the purpose of the new. I ain't going to get into this right now, and I know I'm right. That's the purpose of the good news. The purpose of the Basara is to reach salvation. You can do it in the New Testament without using the Old Testament. Yes, you can. But don't try to teach someone without being grounded in the Old Testament. Okay? And you got to understand things. You also bring more believers to the truth, and you save more souls when you take the Old Testament and fuse it with the New Testament. And if you want more trouble, if you want to help save more souls, you fuse the Old Testament with the Apocrypha. You link the Apocrypha to the New Testament. You link the Old Testament and the New Testament with the Apocrypha if you want to do more damage and save more souls. And if you even want to do even more damage, you bring out some of the lost scrolls. But you have to have the wisdom and know that that lost scroll is telling the truth, because there's a lot of foolishness out there. But there's also a lot of truth out there as well. Okay? So let's go. This is one thing that you should tell your children, okay? Proverbs 18:24. Proverbs 18:24. And it reads, A man of too many friends comes to ruin, but there is a friend who sticks closer than a brother. A man of too many friends comes to ruin, but there is a man who sticks closer. But there is a friend who sticks closer than a brother. In other words, don't have too many friends, because there's no such thing. See, when you all need to understand the word friend, Christ called Abraham his friend. The Father called Abraham his friend in the Old Testament. Friend is not a word to be thrown around. I only have about 2 friends. Okay? That word friend is not to be used lightly at all. Many of you think you have 5 friends. You a damn fool. Now you may have many solid associates. You can have many solid associates, but you don't really know who's. You don't really know who's stand up. You really don't. So many of you cats out here are snitches and slanderers. And somebody asked me, they said, hey, listen, nobody's loyal in the streets, dog. That snitching stuff, y'all need to stop, promoting that snitching stuff as a street code and blah, 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 because people don't want to leave their family, and there's no loyalty in these streets, man. You can't trust nobody. I think many of you don't I think this is the problem with many, and I'm going to speak on slander too. But I think that many of you don't understand the problem with telling, okay? Let me explain to you the problem with telling, okay? See, the problem of telling is not only is it very cowardice, not only is it extremely cowardice, but you also have to understand that it's not standing in accountability. Listen very carefully to what I'm about to tell you. I don't want to hear anything about telling. First of all, do you know that telling is not a street code? Who told y'all that not snitching was a street code? That's what I want to know. Who told y'all that? Do you know all throughout the scriptures forbids telling, not holding, not being accountable for your own actions, and attempting to bring someone else down in the process. Do you understand that that's throughout the scriptures? I believe you all, even many of you all who are in religion, have a verse in the Quran about that. Sort of, kind of, right? Do you know the problem with telling is not being accountable? It's not being accountable for what you thought you were built for. See, my thing is, if you can't stand on your actions, then don't do it. If you are somebody that can't stand on your actions, then don't do it. And if you are going to go and do something with someone else, then and you get caught, don't bring him down or her down with you. Stand on your actions. See, that's what it's about. It's not a street code. Do you know corporate America, those that wear suit and ties in in an industry, they don't play that shit either? What do you think? This is not a street code. Wall Street has a problem with telling, releasing secrets and telling about people's plans and all of these things of that nature. Of being somebody who who is not responsible. Telling is not being responsible. It's not being a responsible and stand-up person. It's not holding accountability for what you did. It has nothing to do with street code. It's morality. I keep telling y'all that over and over and over again. It's morality. The reason why many of you don't understand that is because you are away from the laws of Elohim. You're away from the laws of Elohim. If you and your man is standing on the street corner, and me, I'm the furthest thing away from the gangster. I'm just a quiet, innocent man that all I try to do is do the best for my family and teach the word of Christ. But there are some gangsters out there. There are many of you that are gangsters, right? If you, using you all for an example, not myself or anyone that I know, but for you gangsters out there, if y'all standing on the corner by the 2s or by the 3s and somebody came by and y'all all start shooting and the person got hit and died, then you all stood your ground in the trenches. Or one of the 3 of you supposed to say, if one of you were recognized and one of you were apprehended, are you supposed to tell the other 2 people who did it? Right? When all of you drew your pistols? That's not accountable. That's not being accountable. That's the problem with it. Slander. Don't you know that slander is just as bad as telling? Don't you understand that slander? Do you know how much witchcraft comes behind slander? And many of you who listen to slander are just as bad as slander. It's just as bad as the slanderers. Do you understand that behind slander is great sorcery? Because you can do all types of damage with slander. All types of damage. Right? People may not even understand who that person is that you're talking about. And they're going to treat that person according to the slander. Have a lot of people thinking that this person is this and that and all of these things. Slander brings forth a great, great sorcery. There's all types of wickedness that comes behind slander. People can get hurt and shot and killed off of slander. Attacked. You understand this? There's just so much. And I'm going to do a message. On slander. I'm going to do a message about it. Just on slander alone. Right? Let's finish this off, okay? Let's go to Proverbs 27. Proverbs 27. It says, ointment and perfume rejoice the heart. This is Proverbs 27, verse 9, 10, and 17. Proverbs 27, 9, 10, and 17. Ointment and perfume Ointment and perfume rejoice the heart. So does sweetness of a man's friend by hearty counsel. Thine own friend and thy father's friend forsake not, neither go into thy brother's house in the day of thy calamity. For better is a neighbor that is near than a brother far off. Ointment and perfume rejoice the heart, and so does the sweetness. So when you counsel, so when you are a friend to somebody, you give them good counsel. These children are going to be monsters because of the counsel of society. Moreover, the counsel of their own people. When you grow up and you listen to wickedness, such as violent rap music, whether it's talking about women and cussing them out and calling them bitchs and all of these things, that is wicked counsel. And when you give them good counsel, you give them the counsel of the scriptures, the counsel to don't say those things, don't put harm on your brother, don't place harm on your sister. Let us get back to the commandments so that we won't have all of these issues. Right now, you all are not going to do it. Why? Because the scripture says you're not going to do it. Why? Because you all have a diamond heart. You have a diamond mind, diamond hard mind. So why again are you telling us then you don't think we're going to listen? Because I have to sound the alarm. I have to be a watchman and clean my hands of blood. Some of you will listen. Some of you will turn. Some of you will turn over to Christ. So I'm saving souls as well. Many of you, or shall I say, a nice amount of you, have taken the counsel of the scriptures that I have given you and have devoted yourself to Yahusha. Some of you do it quietly, or most of you do it quietly. That's fine, as long as you do it. Okay? So, it's also going to say, right? Thine own friend and thy father's friend. Don't forsake your own friend. Don't forsake your father's friend. Okay? Don't forsake your own friend and don't forsake your father's friend. Right? Neither don't bring drama to your friend's family's house. Don't go through your ordeal by yourself. Many of you think that just because you have people that will do this for you and do that for you, you always have to drag them into your incidences. No, you don't. Stand up. Deal with your situation alone. Right? That's many of us out there. Now, there's coming a time, though. You do understand these things. There's coming a time when most black men, black women, going to have to get together because there's a lot of things coming down the pike. And we all need to make sure that we have some type of togetherness. Even though there will be many of us whom are wicked and do not want to take any type of counsel from the scriptures during these times. The scriptures is going to be the wisdom when all of these things take place. Many of you don't understand this. Okay? But it's these things are coming, and I'm telling y'all, and I've already told y'all, right? Iron sharpeneth iron, so a man sharpeneth the countenance of his friend. So understand that even amongst your own people, you're not going to be able to count friends on your hand. If many of you think that you have 5 friends, tell me your secret, because I want to know what it is. See, what is a friend? A friend is somebody who would die for you. A friend is somebody who would possibly kill for you if really needed to be. A friend is somebody who would take care of your wife and your kids should something happen to you. You don't understand what a friend is. A friend, and many of you have associates, and many of you might have honorable associates. You might have associates with integrity. But at the end of the day, you don't have a friend. Friends come rare. Friends are rare. That's why he says, don't forsake your father's friend, nor your own friend. But many of you need to stop using that word friend so loosely. So the reason why we're going to have a lot of little monsters is because nobody of our own people knows how to be a friend. But hold up.